Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this week's IAB MENA Masterclass, which this week is on e-commerce and how to leverage data and analytics to get the best out of your e-commerce plans. As you know, these masterclasses run pretty much every second week of the year. This is the last one now for the summer, and then we'll come back again in September with another schedule every second week on Wednesday at 4 p.m. These are sessions that are offered by our members to the marketplace for free. So thank you to all of our members who have stepped forward, in this case, mFilterit. And obviously these are offered to enhance knowledge across the marketplace. There's no sales materials allowed. There's no one trying to sell you anything. This is purely to enhance the knowledge of the marketplace. So it's a very kind thing that many of our members do, in this case, mFilterit. So that's it from me from the IAB. I'm going to hand over to Deb Sina from mFilterit, who will talk to us for probably about 30 minutes or so about unlocking the opportunity through data and analytics. If you do have any questions, feel free to put them into the chat, or we can talk about them towards the end of the session. And with that, I'll hand over to Deb Sina. Thank you very much, Deb Sina, for making your time available to share with the marketplace.
Thank you, Ian. It's a pleasure. Good afternoon, everybody. We are going to get into this session, talk more about eCom, what are the metrics to look at, how to use data and intelligence to grow your e-commerce. So, e-commerce today, it's more than data. And what is important to understand is to look for the right data, which will help you to make the right decisions. Today here in UAE, if you are managing any client, what you're going to see is e-commerce has already clocked 30% of their revenues. In Saudi, it is much, much higher. In some of the brands, it ranges up to 70% of their revenues coming from e-com. And in overall MENA, e-commerce is supposed to exceed $50 billion by 2025, which is this year. Yeah. 87% of all consumers have shopped online. You, me, we have all done it. And therefore, to understand this game is very important. Now, it's not no longer just a channel. It is basically an ecosystem that looks at what are the shoppers' expectation. Are they finding it consistently finding your product? Is the delivery fast enough? Then there is brand consistency, whether you have the same look and feel of your brand on various different platforms in the region. Is there a cost differentiation across all these platforms? And there is obviously data which you require to understand not just P&L requirements, but also demand planning, supply chain, etc. So what are the blind spots that e-commerce generally face today, and what is hurting your revenues are basically everybody has got some problem with inventory fragmentation, which is you do not know where your inventory is sitting. If you're a quick commerce player, this becomes much more fragmented with all the dark location or ghost stores out there. Media misalignment, which is paid media, is not often time related to the data that is being generated on these platforms. What that would mean is, let's say your availability has fallen, but your campaigns are still going, which means you are spending money for nothing. If it is not available, nobody can buy. Language consistencies, again, because we are in a region where there are multiple different languages being spoken, there are some inconsistencies in listing, which needs to be rectified. And then ad inefficiencies, basically lack of data makes your ad spends more less visible. You are not getting the kind of impressions that you want, therefore the overall ROAS goes down. Now, what e-commerce leaders need to know? First and foremost is visibility. E-commerce absolutely depends on visibility. Nobody goes to an e-commerce site like you would go to a retail store browsing shelf after shelf. So you are looking to put in keywords. Therefore, your inventory needs to come up for those keywords. Your pricing should be right. and overall multiple retailers consistently, the oversight is basically avoid stockouts. You have to be available, otherwise it will not come up on the ranking and therefore you will lose out. Actionability, e-commerce depends rapid response and automation. Okay, basically, if there is a pricing error, if there is out of stock, you need to have your supply chain primed to manage this immediate actions. And then measurability, which is you have to understand what are the campaigns you ran, how did the campaigns impact you, what was your goal. Now there are different kinds of goals on e-commerce. Sometimes it's the sales number, sometimes it's the revenue, and sometimes it's ROAS, and how you are optimizing for these numbers. So closing the execution gap is important, where is the product, the price, the presence, and that meets your performance. Yeah, you need data enriched funnel, so your content should be at par. Your content should talk to your customers. Even if it is quick commerce, your image, let's say you're selling a pack of 6 but the image is a pack of 1, it is not conveying the message, so your content needs to be perfect. Your shelf position, which is ranking, if you are not in the first two pages, nobody goes to the third page, so you need to know that you are on the shelf. If you're spending on media, you have to make sure that your products are available and you are spending on the right kind of media. And then obviously conversions, that is where the proof of the pudding lies. Without that, everybody, all your management is going to ask is what were the numbers. Yeah, that's where the most important bits lie. Now media optimization starts with understanding what are you optimizing towards. Now, every client will have a bunch of SKUs that you want to sell online. But again, based on the 80-20 rule, what you will see is 20% of your SKUs will get you 80% of your revenue. Now, understanding and choosing those right SKUs during the right season becomes very important. And if it is a competitive marketplace, you need to do better. Sorry. Can you please share the presentation? Tatiana, after this session, we will do that.
It'll
Okay.
be recorded and available on the YouTube channel as well.
So media optimization, we'll get back to this. It starts with understanding your own SKU list. You need to create your master stock list, which is something that you are going to track across different platforms, across different point of sale, and you will look at availability, your ranking, your pricing, your reviews and ratings, everything. Identifying that SKU is going to decide at least 30% of your game. Then comes campaign pacing. Campaign pacing, why is it important? Because your particular product might not be something that people are buying all through the day or all through the month or all through the week. So you need to know what is the right time for you to start spending and stop spending. Because if you are spending on the wrong time during that wrong window, you will miss out spending during the right window. So, campaign pacing is something you have to clearly understand from your data. And everything that I'm talking to you about is data driven. You have to be looking at your data very closely, understanding that data, and then using it to win the game. And activating winning content is important. Your PDPs are very important if you are doing proper e-commerce. On quick commerce, PDP might not be that important, but when it comes to places like Amazon or Noon, your PDP decides your game. Please understand that PDP has got multiple different components to it. Image is just one of it. The title, the description, it also decides how you are ranked, what are people looking for, and if all the information is present. So whenever it comes to data driven, why do we insist on having data? Because it can quickly improve your ROAS by 20 to 30% without doing much. Only if you use that data, run a couple of pivot tables or put it up on a chat GPT, you will get some information that you were not looking at before. So on the SKU level, you have to have control. So you know where you're investing your time and effort. Not everything is going to make you money. So understanding those SKUs which are more likely to make you money is very important. And then your campaign will be resilient to whatever is happening uh, from your competition. Your competition might be running different campaigns which might impact you. So there are some micro economics at play and there are some macroeconomics at play. So whenever you look at these numbers, what is your competition doing, you will get to see how you can make your campaigns more resilient to competition. So what is happening in the e-commerce in the in the e-commerce space in MENA? Again, everything is becoming more social. Uh, a number from last week in India, Unilever activated 12,000 influencers, which means they are no longer playing a game where an influencer is just another channel, but a full blown media channel for them, which is also true in the region. You will see a lot of influencers promoting a lot of products, and it has gone up multifolds in the last couple of years. So social commerce is going to become very, very important. TikTok is integrating its shop. InstaShop is integrating with social commerce. So social commerce will see a big boom. It is already seeing, but it will come up more. Uh, Retail media is going through its own maturity. So you have a lot of different platforms coming up with their own tech that will allow you to target customers with first party data. That means that you have to be optimizing your media spends. Otherwise, you're going to lose a lot of money because first party data is expensive. For example, Amazon DSP is expensive, but it is absolutely mandatory if you are in an e commerce game. Sorry, I have another message. So TikTok shop is not yet live in MENA, but it will be. There have been multiple discussions that they are coming up. So we will see this soon. Then comes government and retail partnerships. This is important because of Vision 2030. KSA is driving a lot of digital commerce. The government is driving it, is supporting infrastructure, supporting local e-retailers, and therefore the uh, people is going to adapt the tech much quicker than we would have thought a few years back. And then comes in the rich zero party data, D2C innovations that is coming in. You must have seen a lot of big giants like Landmark tying up with Publicis, using the data on Epsilon to target users. You will see this happening more and more. Carrefour is doing something with Criteo. A lot of different players are coming in with their clean room, with their data, and then trying to target these users with first party data. Now, this data is only going to make sense for you if and only if you are targeting well, using the data to work for you. Sorry. Continuing here, I think nobody had any questions here, but just to give you some more information, in this particular case, uh, on this slide, you will see that content is important, shelf is important. Understand that availability is one of the cornerstone of any e-commerce, um, successful e-commerce business. If you are not available, even if you are the top brand, people will not buy. On quick commerce, this is the ultimate truth. If you are not available, quick commerce platforms will not show you. Forget even people finding you. So availability therefore becomes the most important bit on quick commerce. However, when you come to e-commerce, availability is important even though these sites show you products that are out of stock. Some of these sites have decided to delist SKUs which are out of stock, especially when it comes to Carrefour. Carrefour will not show a listing which is out of stock. Now, these changes and these changes to the algorithms are very important to keep track. Sometimes when it comes to Amazon, you have a lot of dependency on content. But when it comes to other sites, the content dependency is much lesser. On Amazon, you have content which is A plus content is required. A plus content would mean you need a title, you need a description, you need 6 images, a video, a specification, etc. But when it comes to Noon, that might not be the most important case. But there are other factors. Now, what are the other factors? Your sales. Your last weekly sales is very important factor when it comes to ranking. Now, how do you increase your weekly sales? Obviously, you do sponsored ads, which gets you more eyeballs, which gets people to a consideration page, add to cart, and therefore sales. And if your sales increase, these algorithms will then push you up the rank because even they want to sell. If something is a hot topic, let's take a labubu for example. Noon listed labubu at the moment it became a talking point. Now, those are the things that all these platforms are looking at. So therefore, your sales will also decide what is your ranking. Then comes media. Now, the moment you are spending on media, there are different ways of spending. One is on platform media, wherein you are either buying direct banners or you're doing sponsored listings. And the other one is you're doing off platform and bringing users to the platform. Now, all these spends, you have to understand that if there is no availability, this doesn't work. If your product is not good, people will come to your PDP and then leave. While you have gotten people to the consideration phase, you were not able to take them to the end of the funnel, which is a purchase. Now, understanding data will allow you to see where are the drop offs. Yeah. And therefore understand what you need to optimize for. Where Amazon also has new attribution modeling that you can do, wherein if you are doing off platform buying, you can now tie it to a sale. uh, Again, it's in a very nascent stage in the region. Overall, globally, however, they have this tool available. And then you have looking at your numbers from your Amazon Marketing Cloud or your Vendor Central to understand what happened to your campaign, what are the number of clicks you got, what kind of performances you received, the conversion, etc. And then extrapolating that data to understand which time of the day mattered to you, which day of the week mattered to you, or which seasons are important. Amazon Prime is coming up in a week's time. So Amazon Prime for you, it is going to be completely data driven. If you are playing with price points, understand which price point is working for you. Sometimes if you see, if you keep items on your cart, what you're going to see is sometimes there is a spike of, let's say, 2 dirhams, 5 dirhams, nothing much. But what they're trying to do is understanding which is the sweet spot, which is that price that you are willing to pay to buy a particular product. So, understanding data is going to be the most important thing for you to win e commerce. So, that is it for me. I wanted to keep it very short so that I can hold everybody's attention. But if you have any questions, happy to take them now.
Thank you very much for your time as guests, and thank you, Debsina, for taking us through the presentation of the last 30 minutes or so. Thoroughly appreciate that. Cheers, everybody.